welcome to the Falcon's Cry podcast channel, the podcast created for current and potential students of Daytona State College. I am your host, Kirby, and as an actively engaged student with a 3.9 GPA, I am here to unveil your path to success. Join us as we explore the Falcon's Cry. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Falcon's Cry podcast channel. I am your host, Kirby, and today we will be interviewing Dr. Harun Karim Thomas so we can shed some light on opportunities that current and potential students may not know about. Welcome, Dr. Thomas. It is a pleasure to have you here.
It's great to be here, Kirby. Thank you.
It is my understanding that you are a highly respected individual. Can you briefly tell us about your credentials as a professor at Daytona State College?
Sure, Kirby. So in the late 90s, I got a bachelor's degree in journalism, and then shortly after that, about a year later, I got my degree in English, bachelor's degree, but I wanted to go to school a little bit longer, so ended up going for my master's and getting my master's in new media studies, and then I received my PhD shortly after that in literary theory. And I was doing quite a bit of teaching at the University of Florida, about 10 years at UF, and then I ended up at Daytona State in 2008, landed here as a Falcon, and have been teaching ever since.
Well, that sounds like you're very passionate about English and writing. Can you tell us, as a professor, what courses do you teach?
Sure. So I teach ENC 1101, so that is our introduction to composition course here at DSC, and I also teach writing with research, ENC 1102, and LIT 2000, which is our literature course.
As an English professor, do you know of any extracurricular writing opportunities that students can get involved in?
Absolutely. So we have two student publications here at DSC. We have InMotion, which is our student newspaper, and we also have Aeolus, which is our student literary magazine. And so Aeolus is published once a year, and we are starting to publish that in the fall. So we do a lot of work in the spring, and we do a little bit of work in the fall. We'll try to get some submissions in the fall, but then we'll do our publication work in the spring and then publish right at the end of spring, beginning of summer, so that it's ready to be distributed in the fall. InMotion, we are all digital right now, so we're publishing stories on average once every 2 or 3 weeks, and we start publishing at the beginning of the fall, and we end just before the end of spring semester.
Okay, well that sounds interesting. Besides getting just the experience, is there any other kind of opportunities that students can get from this experience, like scholarships or anything of that nature?
Yes, so depending on funding, which is not always guaranteed, but usually things work out well for the students. Students are eligible for tuition reimbursement in the form of a scholarship, so they can get a scholarship. There are also opportunities for travel. Each year, there is a statewide conference that is held throughout the state, sometimes in Miami, sometimes in Orlando, sometimes Pensacola maybe, or Tallahassee. Last year, it was in Ybor City. And so I was fortunate to be able to take 6 students to that conference, and they had a blast. They represented Daytona State very well. And there are also other opportunities for travel. There is some talk of me taking some students next fall to the University of Florida. I've spoken with the chair there, so we may have a little bit of a tour and hands-on experience for the students. And then when funding is really good and robust here at the college, there might be some opportunities for me to take, a good handful of students to New York City. So if I'm able to do that, that would be just the most wonderful opportunity. This is a great resume builder to be able to say that you're working at your school's student publications. Just all around a wonderful experience, getting to work with other people to develop team building skills and just all kinds of soft skills throughout the process. So it's just, I think, all around a win-win situation for everybody.
Wow. So with what I am hearing, it sounds like you are very passionate about your profession as well as helping your students and providing them opportunity. What is something that students may not know about InMotion and or Aeolus?
I don't think students, especially new to the college, would know that Aeolus and InMotion are both award-winning publications. I think if students understand that we have a rich cultural history, or a rich history, they would want to just participate and carry on that tradition. That would just be a wonderful thing all around.
This really sounds like a win-win situation. Thank you for being here today and telling us about this. One last thing I wanted to ask is, how do you think the experience most benefits your publication staff, either Aeolus or InMotion?
Anyone who goes through the experience of working with InMotion or Aeolus, I think ultimately sets themselves up for success in the future. So far, I've gotten students who have transferred on to schools like, or have applied even to schools like NYU. We have a student who had just been accepted to UF College of Journalism, and we have one of my strongest students in the newspaper who is transferring to Arizona State University. So I just think that this opportunity, this experience sets people up for the future, gives them an opportunity to see that they can not only belong at Daytona State, but elsewhere once they finish and are successful here.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Thomas.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to all the viewers for joining us on this first episode of the Falcon's Cry podcast channel, where we interviewed one of our very own professors, Dr. Harun Karim Thomas, an English teacher who shed some light on some of the many opportunities available at Daytona State College. You belong here at Daytona State College. For more information on becoming a Daytona State Falcon, email admissions@daytonastate.edu. I'm your host, Kirby, and I hope you join us next time on the next episode of The Falcon's Cry.